والله معليش يا شباب، حلق برنامج البث ذا تعليقه بنت كلب، لكن يلا نكمل الحين.
We've taken off all the assets so you
شال
can see the
الخطوط
issue.
الحين
And
هذا
now
شال
how it
الخطوط
looks, you don't see those lines going at all.
إلا شايفها هذه نفسها. ارجع
You don't see those lines
إلا
going at all.
شايف هذه
And
دقيقة
now how it looks,
برضه موجودة يا شيخ. والله كني باقي شايفه بس يلا نقول راحت خلي. ايه لا هنا من جد بعد، هنا من جد راحت والله من جد هنا راحت. لا الشاشة عندي فيها مشكلة.
With the terrain data cached on the GPU, like Ali said, we can perform scattering there too, which is significantly faster. All those algorithms that we've used to generate those first bits can run there without being more expensive on your CPU. And it also means the results are directly there on the GPU. That allows us to have dramatically more density in our new system. We can render objects directly without having to go via the CPU every frame. We also cull at different levels of granularity, with bigger groups in the distance and individual assets up close. Just as a demonstration, this is the sort of density you can expect on Microtek today. And in a second, we'll flip over to what you can expect from the new upcoming tech.
حلو عشان ما نقعد نتابع هنا واجد، اللي يبغى يشوف رابطهم موجود، رابط البث موجود، بس اشتغلوا شغل واجد.
Turn on the culling groups debug so you can see these are the groups that we create of those trees and of the terrain. And as we get closer, we shrink them so we're more intelligently rendering what we need without having to assess each tree individually, all the way down to the ground.
So to recap some of the things you've seen here in phase one, we had data-driven rules based on physically based data, generating emergent biomes that continuously vary across our planets to get infinite possibilities. And we've achieved this with much greater density than before and much faster rendering. And we also achieved seamless transitions from ground to space with zero popping. So for that, I'll hand you to...
Show you the system keeps... There we go. So, our goal with the content is to provide the content that the system needs to populate every corner of every planet with realistic environments. And this content is what this phase of Genesis is all about, emergent biomes. For our first example of today, it's almost a shame Will left because it's about moisture, but let's look at very high moisture and medium to high temperature.
الإضاءة أتوقع الإضاءة عدلوها أو زي كذا، مو عدلوها باقي لسه يشتغلون. أما لو تصير كذا الجيم خرب بيتهم لو يصير كذا الجيم. سوي أفلام. حكوا على شيء بس ما أدري حزين هذا كان. يلا ممتاز.
So, with the biomes on our planets now being defined by where an individual object wants to appear, you can expect a lot more happy accidents by having species invade different biomes, making for some unique locations, hopefully. Surely.
حرك الأشجار ذي إذا مريت. Hello.
Hello. Right. Emulated nature as
structures that they use and they follow the same rules as our biomes, such as the jungles and the swamps. But before we continue, let's first take stock as to where we are now. At the moment in the verse, we have these custom beautifully made locations, such as Ghost Hollow, we've got our distribution centers, or even just some outposts. And so there's no exploration gameplay. You haven't really put your character to use for the way that you should. So this means we need to go bigger, which means we need to change our workflow. And with any workflow means we need to first establish a new benchmark. So, with our new benchmark, we are ensuring quality and improve on our previous work and make it even better. And any location that you'll find needs to have its own unique personality and no repetition. We don't want you to find the same location twice. This also means that this is your exploration and your findings. So when you go out there and explore with your Carrack or with your Corsair, is that whatever you find, you can share with your orgs or with your friends. As for density, if you fly down to the planet, we want you to find something, let's say, every 100 clicks. But also improve the mission experience. So when you stay more on the planet, you're more immersed and you go from location to location. Just keep going. So going forward, we are modularizing all our existing locations and assets. And we're basically making a library of buildings.
خليني بقى أجرب بس شيء.
To ensure fun gameplay and interactive sandbox activity, and also make sure all the mission stuff is there. Basically, we're building a toolkit. So let's look at some of the things that we need to keep in mind as we are making that toolkit. First and foremost, we've got our art style and branding. We've got things like Frontier for our settlements. We've got high-tech for the emergency shelters, but also utilitarian, like our bunkers and distribution centers. The richer the data, the richer these locations will be. Secondly, they all have a function. We've got mining for our mining outposts, farming for the farmsteads, or just places where people live. The function of the place will define the way the place looks as well, and its form. And last but not least, the people as well, the faction and their loadouts. We've got lawful people, like the new Citizens for Prosperity in Pyro. Unlawful, such as Xenofred. And sometimes not even no one. And the place needs to look a bit, you know, derelict. In different places, you'll find different people. So, now that we've made our toolkit and we've defined all this new stuff, let's start building thousands of locations. Yes, I said thousands. So, to avoid the same issue of working on directly in the planet, I'd like to introduce to you Starchitect. What Starchitect allows us to do is directly on a planetary scale scatter all these new libraries and modules and assets and no longer work directly on the planet. And it uses the same logical rule set as our emergent biomes. And it also gives us full control over the data that we set on these locations. So expect locations in places where they make sense. Let's kind of look at all this new Genesis data and all these new libraries and chuck it into Starchitect and see what it gives us. As you can see, we're now able to make full-size locations, and they will look completely different based on where you'd find them. The layouts are controlled by the rules, and it will reflect its place in the verse. We've got farms, mining outposts, but even our older locations, such as the bunkers that you find on Stanton.
خلنا نشوف الأمر ده الحين يشتغل.
So let's look at an example and kind of use the tool to really, make a location. We can define the rules, as I've mentioned a couple times by now. So for our mining outpost, it wants to be near a resource. We can specify what this resource needs to be. But we can also give it suggestions where sometimes you'd find it here and sometimes you wouldn't. If the location has refineries, it might want to be near water to refine the resources. Then secondly, we can define what buildings should be there. So obviously we need mining buildings, houses for people to live as well, and even power buildings that we can leverage with the resource network. Starchitect will intelligently figure out where to place these and what needs to be at the location. Next up, farms. Its rules, well, temperature. Not every plant can live in every temperature, but the same with soil type. Only certain plants can be in certain grounds. And then we can query the seed map to determine what plants you would find there. What are the harvestables? As for the targets, again, farm buildings, obviously, power buildings, houses, but even animals, such as our beloved quasi-grazers. And last but not least, derelict ships. We've got these all over the place currently. Rules, well, they'd be close to anti-air because I would be shot down. But even in harsh flight conditions, such as mountains or low visibility, you'd probably most commonly find them. Targets, well, crash ship parts, of course. Sometimes you'd find the full remains of a javelin, and the other time you might just find the nose of a starfarer laying around. So, let's talk about coherency. Sure, we can scatter all these locations everywhere on the planet, and you'll find them in places they make sense, but we can do better. You don't just want to find an outpost completely on its own, right? We want to make sure it really feels like people have built their lives here. So, let's talk about some missing bits. We want to tell tighter stories, such as the people's lives, but also logical exploration. If I find one thing, I expect to find something similar or something else nearby. We also need more data control. What defines one mining outpost being different from the other one? Distribution centers. Locations are near each other. There's some points of interest all over. And we group them together in what we like to call a cluster, like this one, that has 13 locations.
Mind that even if we could export dynamically and statically those planets, so processing dynamically all a static version of the planet, this would be, first of all, wasteful.
We've got has changed with them. So what?
I'm Kirsten. I'm a producer here at Cloud Imperium, and
VoIP. So it's a bit of the communication channels beyond just.
So to combat this, we've introduced tracking stabilization, which helps to reduce the amount of noise we get from the webcam. We're seeing positive results in low light conditions, but we're also seeing a small quality boost in optimal lighting conditions. The result is a more expressive and stable face, which is great for using in-game or making videos in the verse. And we still have a little ways to go with VoIP, but the future is bright for this feature, and we can't wait to see what wonderful things you use it for in the verse.
So I see you in the character creator. Let's change how you look.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's change up my appearance here a little bit and see what we can make. The super cool thing about the character customizer is that it continues to track my face even when editing. And this is great if you want to see what VoIP will look like on your character before you commit to your appearance. Let's start off by changing my long hair. We have a lot of heads in our customizer, and I'm just going to cycle through a few of them here to show you that whatever we choose...
Big ideas. Yeah.
هذا عاد المنظمات.
Sometimes it's just the simple things, isn't it? Let me put that crap on a shirt. Out of 40, every it's only.
عاد راحة 43 دقيقة اتوقع. الا كم لنا الحين؟ ربع ساعة.
Right. So how'd you do that? Couple LEDs?
هذه شفتها، هذه شخصيات وياخذون
that is so
جوائز
cool.
في النهاية. هذه شفتها. بس طبعا ما راح احرق عليكم ذا.
So his favorite part of the retribution is the main thrust lightening of the ship, because when you like light it up, you will light up the whole room, the whole wall, and it's very amazing and beautiful.
Well, thank you guys. Let's take a look at that lighting. We'll get you guys into position for the next bit right now. So let's take a quick look at the retribution. This thing is amazing. It is massive. It's probably over, I would say, 10 feet long. This thing is huge. It's been at previous bar citizens that we've had in Asia. It's awesome to have it here at CITIZENCON. We're really, really happy that this thing made it to Manchester. It is so much detail in such a small amount of space, but it's not that small. It's massive. So yeah, we're really, really happy to have it here. Now
يلا خلاص نرجع الجيمنا
to the
الحين.
next thing they brought. I don't know if anyone.
والله ننهي ذي. نرجع للجيم. إذا اشتغل ولا انهينا البث يا شباب؟ إذا اشتغل الجيم ولا انهينا البث؟ طيب هذا النت هنا مقفل حلو. كنا طول. لا اشتغل شكل هذا الشركة. تغيرت الموسيقى اشتغل معنا. والله طول. اشتغل؟ اشتغل ولا؟ ايه حلو، رجعنا هنا ممتاز. يا اخي السلاح ذا ليش كذا؟ دقيقة. شكله كذا غريب. طيب شوف شيء ثاني. ودي اجرب انا ذي. لا في قناصة بجربها. وبرميها شوف ترجع ولا لا. هذه لا مو بذي. لا مو بذي هذه. هذه وين المسدس؟ هذا هو. خلاص نجرب ذي. خلنا نضبط القهوة على بال ما يجي القطار. جاء القطار خلاص. وصلنا. وجاي تحديث اليوم لعب في العدة. في أحد بيجي يا حلوين؟ يلا C1 C1. معقولة بلقى CPR مكانها؟ أما لو ألقاها مكانها صراحة لا شغال. طيب ليش من هنا ليش؟ خلاص على طول على شو اسمه، على المدرج. انزل المدرج واطلب اللي تبيه. خلاص ما عاد في الشاشات ذي، لا توقف عندها. المدرج وعلى طول. ها والله باقي. والله شكلها باقي. اي والله شباب المدرج يخرب بيتهم، يخرب بيتهم صدق. والله شيء خطير. انا خوفتي اجي عند الدباب ذا المنحوس يعطبنا، لانه هو اللي اعطب الجيم قبل شوي. لا لا شغله تمام. يمديني اجي هنا ولا لا؟ شكل الخوذة بتدق هنا. يعني انزل شوي. بس. طيب هذا اخر شيء. طف المحرك. طف وانزل. انزل طيب. صار ينزل كذا. طيب اوكي. بس والله كويس انه ما يضيع وقتك. ترجع. ممتاز. طيب وين السي 1؟ وطياراتي بعد ما راحت، يا سلام. حلوة حركة المدرج ذي الجديدة، حلوة. اليوم باخذ عقد واحد بس، بكرة نكمل. بس باخذ عقده. شوف كيف طريقة اللعبة وذي. عقد طرود طبعا، عقد توصيل طلبات. هلا 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 والله. يا أخي والله أنها إي، بس بعدين برجع وفيلم مرة واحدة كذا خلاص. الفيلم بعد شوي والله. تتحرك ذي نفس السي1؟ لا. والله العدادات تغيرت والشغل تغير، بس عاد ولا كأنها شيء. إيه بس السيارة وذي ونطلع. طيب وش فيها ما تتحرك ذي؟ وش فيها ما تتحرك ذي؟ ما له داعي نطلبها من هناك. لا مين مطمنتني ما في مشاكل. هذا آخر شيء كذا. طيب أوكي. ما أدري لونها اختلف ولا. والله نجرب ذي. اشتغلت كويس، ما اشتغلت خليها. لا خلاص. أنا عارف من وين نجيبها، الموقع اللي نجيبها من. روح الحين على طول على الموقع وناخذ يا حبيبي يبغى موية ويبغى يا أخي فيلم هنا. والله من جد فيلم. لا معليش لازم أجيب موية وأجيب أي شيء ياكله. السلاح كويس شكله. طيب ممكن من هنا أول أضغط الحين. ما في، لازم تنزل على الأجهزة ذي. طيب أنزل على الأجهزة يعني أجيب شو اسمه. وشلون ذا؟ أبغى موية، أجيب من ذا موية. عشان حطيتها هنا. شكلي عشان حطيتها في ذا. هذا شكله حق الكارغو وما الكارغو ما له شغل. ايه يعني عندي انعطى ذا. يقول لك لازم تشيل ذي. هذا المكان انعطب عندي. يعني لازم اوقفها هنا. شوف لها اي ملبق. سي شيء حاجة وش ذا؟ والله الشاشات كلها شغالة بعد. ما لها حل. الحل الوحيد اني اطلبها من اي مكان ثاني. ليش؟ سوي لها ستور. صح. سوي لها ستور هنا. اي هذه. طيب الحين موية وذي وشلون؟ حبيبي اطلع. هذه بتروح، هذه بتختفي. والله الموية تروح من جد. ومو معقول اطلع سبة موية. طيب دقيقة اشوف. مو بذا هنا. أوه. اقرب مكان على اساس ايش؟ اي هذا. وين اللي بنروح له؟ عين اسمه. يلا خذ. اي هذا اول واحد. ثالث واحد. طيب شوف فور راوتنج. اوكي. الخريطة ذا اللي في النص شكلها غير طبيعي. ارحبوا بسناب. يلا حيوا. كيفك يا وحش؟ حلو، ثبت سرعة شغال. افتح الخريطة. هذه والله ما أدري هذه ولا لا. يلا خلنا نشوف الحين. عشان الكروز كنترول. طيب يمكن باقي ما طلعت من. طيب 16,000 شو اللي ما طلعت؟ إلا هذه. وين كركت؟ يا أخي معطيني موقع خطأ. طيب دقيقة، خلاص أنا عرفت الحل. لما يجيك زي كذا كنسل شوف ايش اللي باين هنا. لا هي مو بذا الموقع. والله توهان، والله توهان. يعني كل ذا ولسه ما بعد بديت مهمة يعني. هذا شيء جاك عرضا موية. اطلع هنا وبس. شوف اللي طفى شوف اللي طفى. جديد جديد. من هنا الحين ميكروتيك لا. طيب الحين هنا نرجع نفتح الخريطة معليش. هذه هي واضحة الحين. ايه خلاص كل شيء واضح. شكل اليوم ما في عقد يا شباب. باخذ بس السيارة وبرجع باخذ السيارة وبرجع ماكروتيك ثاني مرة عشان أتأكد هي راحت بالسيارة من المدرج ولا لا. إذا راحت خلاص كملنا بكرة إن شاء الله بدري كذا. اليوم هذا بدأوا يبثون الظهر الساعة 1. طيب خلينا نشوف الحركة اللي قبل شوي. إيه شوفها الحين تتحرك تمشي. قبل شوي ما كانت تمشي. في لخبطة الظاهر من عندي أنا. والله كل شيء تمام. الله يخرب بيتي كل شيء تمام مين. كل شيء تمام مين. طيب لحد هنا شباب إن شاء الله نكمل بكرة. أنا أذيتكم معي وكل شيء فاصل خلاص. أنا هذا نكملها بكرة الجزء الرابع. اليوم الثالث بس عرض الاحتفال حقهم. ما سوينا شيء. الرحلة حقتنا الرحلة النايمة ذي ما سوينا فيها شيء. لكن بكرة إن شاء الله يشتغل الجهاز وتشتغل الجيم ونخلص الرحلة. نخلص الرحلة على خير بإذن الله. تصبحون على خير. أراكم البث القادم بإذن الله وفي أمان الله.